Hey everybody, today we are going to do a demonstration on how to do drawing number one in Solidworks. So if you had me for a normal class, this is the first drawing that we would do together. And I want to tell you that this drawing there should be a focus on accuracy. This is pretty important. It's going to be tough to do this remotely, but we're going to do the best that we can given the circumstances. So right now, if we go in here and we look at the requirements for drawing number one, I pretty much outline this about as clearly and concisely as I possibly can. So you're gonna watch the video that I'm currently creating right now. That's why you're not seeing it here. I'm gonna have to have you log into ClassLink and the remote desktop. So the remote desktop gets you into SolidWorks. I showed you how to do this in a previous video. I also showed you how to see your files within ClassLink and link them via Google Drive. All right, so that we are going to use Google Drive to submit all of our assignments and to save them as well too. If you notice here, step number 3, I say about it will be helpful having the repeating steps, and it's also going to be helpful to have the drawing. So one of the things that I'm going to actually ask you guys to do is I would open 2 versions of Classroom up. So if you have Classroom open, this is my student Classroom page, by the way. This is my teacher one on this side. So I'm just going to copy, and then I'm going to actually add a second one here. And I'll show you why I'm going to do this. It's just smart to do it this way. So the first one, we leave this one set up so that if you click this, you can have the drawing right here. And if you click the right arrow, it brings up the repeatable steps in SolidWorks. There's 6 repeatable steps that we will do over and over, and you'll hear me refer to those. So I like to have these like this so that I can go back and forth between them. And then in a separate window, you can actually have the video opened here. All right, and over here you can split your screen like I am, and you can actually draw on the other side. All right, so we are going to be drawing this drawing right here, and I understand you guys have never done this before. I totally get it. So I'm going to do my best to be as clear and concise. I have to get this within a 15-minute window, so I will keep the speed up a little bit, but remember, you can always pause me and rewind me, so that's a little bit different and better than having it face-to-face. So I always have a strategy when I draw these, and I will cover that strategy with you. I'm going to have you guys click the new file right here and do a new part. And I know that some of you have been having issues when you go to here and you go to document properties and units. I know some of you guys have been having issues when you go to point 1, 2, 3 for all 3 of these. Sorry, I missed the first one. And this one. I know you've had some issues and you couldn't say okay. This is not a deal breaker, to be completely honest with you. As long as it says IPS for inches, pounds, seconds, which it should, you should be in good shape. All right, so I'm not too terribly worried about that. I also want you guys to go to View, Hide and Show, Origins, which is going to pop this origin up in the middle of the screen. Now, our strategy here is that we are going to draw this shape. All right, and I want us to think of this as we're going to draw a box with the longest length, which is 7, and the widest width, which is 4, and the tallest height, which is 3. And then we're going to start to whittle away stuff from it. All right. So my first step is drawing a 4 by 7 by 3 inch tall block. Now, these are my steps, the repeating steps. So I'm going to literally use this to draw this. All right. So here we go. Step 1 is click the Sketch tab. Step 2 is to choose a shape. I'm going to choose this corner rectangle. Step 3 is to choose a plane. Well, I'm going to choose the top plane, so I'll just roll over it till it turns orange and click it. Step 4 is to draw the shape. Since this is our first sketch, I want you to roll over this origin, and when I roll over it, it turns yellow. That's called a coincident relationship. When I roll away, it is no longer yellow. So I'm just going to roll over it here till it's yellow. I'm going to click and draw a rectangle. All right. Now, next step is to smart dimension it. So I'm going to go to smart dimension, and I'll click this upper piece right here. I'm going to just go and click it, move it out here somewhere, and make that 7. I'm just hitting 7 and hitting enter. on my keyboard or return. This guy over here is going to be 4. And so I dimensioned the two-dimensional shape, and now I either have to extrude boss it or extrude base it, or extrude cut it. Yeah, extrude boss base it or extrude cut it. Sorry. So we're going to extrude boss base it. If we go over to features, extruded boss base, we're just going to leave this blind, and we're going to leave that 3 inches and hit the green check. You may have to hit it twice until it goes away. And there it is. I like to hit this, which is zoom to fit. And then you can use your little scroller wheel. I just zoomed it right off the screen. If you use the scroller wheel to zoom in and out, you can use that on your mouse, and that allows you to zoom it in and out. You can also use this to view the different viewpoints. I like isometric, and I use that a lot. So honestly, that was step number 1. Step number 2, we're going to take this rectangle out. So it's 3 inches by 1.5 inches. And I'm going to go back here and do the exact same procedure. So I'm going to click the sketch tab. Done. I'm going to choose a shape. I'm going to choose a rectangle. It's telling me to choose a plane. This is my 3rd step. So the plane I want to choose is this. For the record, that's a plane. This is a plane. This is a plane. The back side has a plane. I'm going to click here for this plane. Step 4 says to draw the shape. So I'm just going to roll over to this corner here and draw that shape. Step 5 is to dimension it. So I'm going to go to Smart Dimension. If you remember, this side was 3 and this side was 1.5. I'm going to go down here, and I'm not going to make it 3-dimensional. That's what Extrude Boss Base is. Instead, I'm going to do Extruded Cut. So I'm going to do File. Oh, I'm going to do Features, Extruded Cut, and over here I'm going to do Through All. Hit the green check, and there it is. So there's step 2 done. Step 3 is going to be, there's a rectangle here, and you see that it's 4.5 inches across. It's 1.5 inches from the edge, and it's 1.5 inches deep. So I'm going to click the Sketch tab. I'm going to choose my shape. I'm going to choose my plane. Now I'm going to draw the shape. So be careful here. I'm going to show you here, if you roll over any line segment and you get close to the middle, see that midpoint, define it. It'll happen here too, it happens up here. You don't want to start or end from a midpoint. So find that midpoint and then just move away from it. And I'm just going to draw a line up into here. All right? I'm going to Smart Dimension it. This was 4.5, I think. I'm going to go back and look here in just a moment. Yeah, 4.5, 1.5 inches from the edge, 1.5 inches deep. So from here to here, sorry, sometimes it doesn't catch. So there it is, 1.5 inches. And I'm going to go to Features, Extruded Cut, leave this blind, and the depth was 1.5 inches. So I'm going to make it 1.5 inches deep. There we go. So we're getting somewhere. Now, back over here, you see that my final step is I have 2 circles. They both have a diameter of 1 inch. You'll notice that this circle is 1 inch from this edge and 1 inch from this edge. And this circle is 1 inch from this edge and 2.5 from here. So there's 6 total dimensions. 2 here, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Check this out. We're going to go back to here. I'm going to click the Sketch tab. I'm going to choose a circle, and the plane I'm going to draw on is this one. I can draw both my circles at the same time, so I'm just going to put 2 circles on here. And when I dimension circles, I always go to Smart Dimension, and I click the outer edge, which gives me the diameter, and I'll just move it out here. So I'm going to do 1. I'm going to do 1. Remember, the distance from here to here is 1 inch. The distance from here to here is 1 inch. The distance from here to here is 2.5 inches. And the distance from the center to here is 1 inch. Final step, features, extruded cut, through all. And that right there is your drawing number one, your sketch number one. So if you've gotten that far, that's a really good thing. And the only thing you have to do at this point is save your changes and share it with me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do File, Save As, and I am going to save this thing into my Google Drive, which is not showing up here, which is awesome. So what I'm going to do is temporarily save it. I'm going to actually pause my video here really quickly. So give me 1 second. We had some technical issues earlier. Let me pause this quickly. Sorry about that. I was logged into the wrong account. Let me go back to here again. File, Save As. And now you can see that the Google Drive stream is there. So I'm going to have you guys save in your Google Drive stream into my drive and into, it should be into Classroom, and then into the class of your choice, right? So you're going to pick 8th grade. It depends which class that you guys are in. And you're going to save it as your first name, last name, drawing one, all right? And that should get it saved into your Google Drive file. Now, I'm going to go over here to my student account and make this full size because I want to show you guys something. So if I go back into my Google Drive for my student account, all right, here's Classroom right here and 8th grade. That's where that assignment should be. And you can see it right here, the first name, last name, drawing number one. That's where you guys will find it. To share it, or to hand it in, I should say, for Solid or through Google Classroom, if you click the View Assignment right here, over here you're going to add or create, right? So you're just going to add the file, and you're going to add your Google Drive file. If you browse out here, this is it right here, that first name, last name, drawing one. This is it for sure. If you wanted to just browse into Classroom and into your 8th grade, there it is right there. So notice you can't click it right now. You actually have to click it here first and click Add. There it is. It is uploading to that site as we speak, and you can click Turn In and Turn In. And when you do that, I'm going to get a notification on my phone, which I actually just got for this assignment to be turned in, or that it was turned in. And if you look over here in my teacher Google Classroom page, sorry, I'm doing 10 things at once here. Where am I at? There we go. I'm sorry. In the wrong group. So if I look over here at my classwork and drawing number one, I can see that there is a person that turned it in, and that person that turned it in is MS Tech Ed student, which is me. That's the demo that I just gave you guys. So what I want to make sure that you all do is you turn it in this way. It's really the only way that I can track it. It has been, I understand that it's super difficult for you guys to do this, and honestly, this is an assignment where I wish I was standing right next to you, because you're gonna have questions, you're gonna have concerns, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna do things incorrectly, and that's all normal. And you just can't get frustrated. Just try your best, do the best that you possibly can, and just so long as you're showing an effort and working with me, I'm gonna be happy with that. And hopefully we get back to school here at some point, and I can help you guys out a little bit more. So. I hope you enjoyed that first drawing. Put it on pause, rewind it. I had to go as fast as I possibly can because I have only can make a video no longer than 15 minutes, and I am very fastly approaching that right now. So you guys have a great day. Go outside and enjoy the nice weather, and I'll talk to you soon.